fucking mean, dude.
I told you.
She said that Christina Tomato told her that she's done.
What?
Yeah, and that's why I'm a witness now.
When?
Well, she didn't say when the call was, but she said that Christina Pinedo called her and told her that she's done and that she's not going to try anymore and that she's trying to TPR you. So I could write an affidavit. You know what I'm saying?
That would be amazing.
Yeah. I ain't stupid, dude, you know?
Well, my mom is.
Well, I kind of caught on to that, too, that she doesn't know very much. So I let her know. I told her, I was like, you know, I gave her my background. I told her how much I know about the system. I know a lot about the law. I know a lot about appeals. I read your appellate attorney saying that there's no arguable issues and that I thought that that was heinous because there are so many arguable issues. And I said the due process, the blocking of her coming to hearings, the, ADA violations, the trauma. Like, look, I understand. I'm like, yeah,
What exactly? So, like, she called you back and then...
She called me today, which is weird because I got hung up on when I called. And
so she just called back without, like, from not hanging up?
Yeah, I just said, I know Kristen, and I'm not sure, like, what your guys' background is or what's going on with the, whole situation, but I can tell you what I do know. And I was like, I really hope that as a mother, like any mother, any child is going to have trauma and adverse childhood experiences from being separated from their primary attachment. And, that causes, I said, I'm a nurse, and that causes, increased risk for suicide, increased risk for drug addiction. There were so many different things with her. I was like...
And she listened?
Yeah, we talked for about an hour. I was just like, look, I want to keep this line open. Like, I understand that it's all, very, like, current, and you guys are angry at each other, and I'm like, but you don't understand what the system does and why they do it. I'm like, and she's like, so you think it's all for federal funding? And I said, no, I didn't say that, but it is a part of it. But they want to have positive reporting outcomes. And, for them to seize Wrigley the way that they did, I looked at the documents. I can tell you right now it was an unlawful seizure. And I can tell you right now it was an unlawful seizure. And I can tell you right now it was an unlawful seizure. They had it planned. I said they knew about this from February 3rd. I told her about the IEP situation and how you were trying to get help with Wrigley and how, the school may have thought that you were going to file a federal lawsuit. And
that's good because that is stuff she does know because that's when we were talking. So she does know all that.
Help she was trying to receive from EP and she was right on the verge of gaining the services that she needed. And, for them to come and seize him, it was not reasonable for them to not institute procedures to keep him at home. So outlined in their responsibilities and their job duties, and technically they violated Wrigley's Fourth Amendment, and he has the right to not be unlawfully seized. And I was like, if I was her attorney, I could tell you right now, I said, if they TPR her, she's very likely going to win on appeal. So I don't want Wrigley to be placed with you and build a bond with you and then be taken from you and given back to his mom. So I think it's probably in his best interest for you guys to kind of work together through this process. And so if you, feel that you want to communicate and try to go, and she's like, oh, she's just against the system, or she would have just done what she was supposed to do.
Did you tell her I did?
I did. I said, well, she did the drug test, but I said, you have to understand when people, in general, just distrust of the government because of their actions, like you do realize that DCFS falsifies drug tests. Like that's happened a lot.
There's no reason for me to drug test. I've never done drugs. They know that.
Well, I know, and I was like, and they ordered her into a drug program, and she's not a drug addict. I raised all of the issues, so I hope that she thinks about it. She plans on adopting him.
She did say that?
Yeah. As of right now.
Why doesn't she have him now? Why'd she let him spend 16 months in...
Well, I know, and that's the thing. She said that her and the grandma, the other one, are trying to keep him there as long as possible so that he can get the services that he needs.
He's not getting services.
No, I know. It's sad. Like, is that what you really want for a kid? Like, to grow up in a facility?